Good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, by the time you see this video, I hope you've enjoyed the one we did yesterday. I did about 2 hours, I think, and did the iris for you a little bit there. Maybe we'll get more extensive into that as just take one video and do that. Oh, good. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, this is as thick as the one I'm going over. Oh, man, you guys keep me hopping. It's okay, though. But do appreciate you all so much. I tell you what, you guys are really good. This issue with Kelly, I think, shows the concern and the practitioner within you guys. And Kelly, when you're on this site, and it's the same thing when you come to my school. Everything's open. When you there's nothing hidden about person's problems and things like this. Some people don't want me to mention names, okay, but you know, I'm an educator. You've guessed that by now. And so my whole gig is education. If you don't like it, I don't know what to say to people, you know, but I'm an educator. I just don't give you 15 minutes and that's it. So, and it's important for me to educate you because I know you're going to carry that the rest of your life, and it's going to do you justice the rest of your life. Great comments. JG, I thought it was a great comment. I can tell you, Kelly, you're going to do well when you drop this concept that you have a rare disease. You're holding on to that. I'm very sensitive. I can tell you that you're hanging on to that. That's why I was a little blunt in a previous video. You're hanging on to something and making claim to it, and you can't. You can't make claim to it. You have to let it all go and realize there's no such thing as diseases. That your problem is universal. There's plenty of people with your type of problems, and there's plenty of people a lot worse. So you just have to grab it and go and pull your health back, understanding why. And my job is to educate, not to do it for somebody. This is, if you notice, everybody here is doing it for themselves. So you guys did good. I thought you did really, really well. Some people are not meant to do these things. I'm giving my appointments free to people like Kelly. In the herb side of it, they give them distributor costs because when you come to my school, you automatically qualify for distributor's costs, which is about $9 off a bottle, something like that, which is considerable. And the reason I did that is a cross between a practitioner, which is wholesale, and retail, kind of in the middle there where you can make money and start yourself up a business. And so I did that. So that we can't give everything away in that respect when it comes to botanicals. We can go real low and just focus in certain areas, and we can use teas, and we can help in that way. When someone donates their herbs, we can give those away, of course. But we give everything. And there's a lot of Kellys out there, lots of Kellys. And so we have to pay our help. We have to pay our lights, and we have to pay our things. People don't understand the cost of doing business is incredible. It's just astronomical, the fees involved. Roughly 4% of charge card fees that we charge go back to the charge card company. So it's a tremendous cost. So you can't give everything away. I mean, we do, and we can, and we try, but anyway. Keep it up. I love your comments, and whether someone likes them or not, I don't care. I really like the practitioner in your thinking. I like how you're trying to get her to understand to let go. I like how you're telling her to get in that lymph and move that lymph. I really like what you guys are doing. Proud of you guys. You guys are doing well. Centron, all you guys, just doing really well. Oh, and all you guys. And that's what it's about. You have to start working with people. Some people want it, some don't, and of course most of you are very spiritual, so you're very perceptive. I'm very perceptive. I know immediately whether you're going to do the program or not. I mean, after 40 years of working with tons of people, I got a pretty good idea where you're at in your consciousness, and you know, what you're going to do and what you're not going to do. So you can't take things, you know, you can't hold. And you'll see a lot of people hold on to their diseases like they're theirs. And I don't know why that is. You know, it's just kind of like that, it's an addictive syndrome, addicted to even diseases, and addicted to the emotional, oh, look at me. There's just a lot of that out there. And it's just, this is, again, a sign of weak adrenals. The emotional state is weak in people. They don't love themselves. They can't get the strength to power up and do it. So they want other people to do it for them. There's all kinds of this out there. So anyway, you guys are doing very well there. And Kelly, you'll do well if you put your focus on to health, and that's your focus. Get it away from this ridiculousness of diseases and focus on health. Understand the body, which you are. And so you'll do okay, Kelly. And all the other people like the Kellys out there. Thank you, Jules. Myopia. This vaccine thing. Well, you know what? It's just that they love to pour toxins into people, and I don't know if it's tied to the World Health Organization in kind of a thread of conscious effort to ruin the human species. I just can't imagine that. But the negative forces do have their side of this, and if you want to use it that way. And their job, of course, is to decay life. Just like there's acids, that's their job, you know. And then you have the other side, which is to build life. But I don't. Either side is duality, and you're not from or a part of duality other than your bodies. But get your eyes. When you have eye problems, no matter what level of eye problems, MACD, there's wrinkled retinas. I mean, there's everything under the sun out there now. Dry eyes. You got all types of refractor problems like myopias. You got all kinds of issues out there with the lens. You have a lot of weaknesses in tissue that causes tissue to act differently, to perform differently, to shape differently. And so one has to go back to what strengthens the human cell. And of course, that is a good blood supply, and that's a good lymph supply, a good lymph elimination. It is also understanding the proper energetics and nutritional side of life. We make nutrition so much bigger than it really needs to be. And of course, when you're doing raw fruits and you're doing raw vegetables or raw vegetable juices, and maybe you're taking a superfood blend, well, my God, you're getting more nutrition than almost any species on the planet. The proof of that's not the answer, only a part of it, is the fact that there's a lot of raw foodists writing me here that's been raw foodist for years, still having a problem. Look at this old guy, 81, being a raw foodist for 20 years, and he's got calcifications in the kidneys. I can tell you, it's just, that's not the problem. It is when you consider standard American diets, and it is in the sense that the diets of high dairy and proteins have literally destroyed the human body. So yeah, we have a lymphatic problem because of that problem, definitely. So changing the nutrition, piece of cake. Getting to the lymph system, not so easy of a piece of cake. It can take years to clean that system up. It's a trip. It really is. And then to repair the weaknesses and the genetic stance of cells. I mean, this is all a process, and you guys are doing well. And everybody must learn that this is a process. There's no quick remedy, no magic potion, as we say. So, same thing with the eyes. Now, going with this, I would strengthen my parathyroid gland, make sure my parathyroid gland is up, because connective tissue, that could affect lens and the shape of lens. It can affect the vascular system, the neural transports of the brain. So utilization of calcium is a key component. No question, upper circulation, brain and nerve. We have the visual as I mentioned before, that has raw eye tissue and other goodies in there. Bilberries. You got the eye wash to help pull and move lymph and blood better in the eye. So you've got a range of things. Plus, always, always, always remember the lymph system. You must always work on that system. And working on that system assures that your nutritional input is there, because you can't move the lymph without you being in that nutritional component. You can't, and it's going to take you higher in the nutritional component into the fruits and berries and melons. And that's where the highest nutritional component is. Notice they push a lot of these juices, these tropical fruits and stuff, and tout them as the wonder foods. Well, it's because fruits and berries have the high, allowed to ripen, have some of the highest nutritional components of life. You know, take alfalfa and pump it up and get it really dark green and then juice it. Sure, you've got some components there. So work in that way and you'll be good there. Avril, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sweetheart, but thanks a lot for all that. This idea, this study that you mentioned about fruit juice causes cancer, oh my God. There's so many ignorant people like this scientist. It's just fascinating, the ignorance that these people have. Now, fruit juice. Could this fruit juice be high fructose? Could this fruit juice be pasteurized? Everything else? Let me tell you, no one ever got cancer from eating fruits or eating fruit juice, drinking fruit juices from fresh squeezed juices. Nor do I ever see that from someone drinking bottled juices, really. So this kind of crap out there just makes me want to puke. And people like that need to quit playing this stupidity. He probably eats a lot of meat and milk and loves it. I mean, this is the constipated scientist of the world, as far as I'm concerned. There's so many components. I could go over so many components of that study. It'd be unreal. That kind of crap just makes me want to throw up. All of you would have had cancer by now, wouldn't you? I'd have probably 150,000 people out there with colorectal cancer right now. Interesting enough, I've cleaned up a lot of colorectal cancer with fruits. I don't know. Crazy, huh? Thank you, the Bella. Thank you for your comments, all you guys. You are so great. I love you all. I really do. The answer is within you. A great name. The answer is within you. Well, there's an old saying, you got to go within to get out. And then when you get out, you know, you still have to go within. And then you realize it's all now anyway, and there's no in or out. Oh, well, life is. Good reach to what you said to Kelly. Excellent take. Really right on in your thinking. You studied the natural hygiene. Right on. I mean, there is no other answer on this planet than what you guys are doing right here. Same with you, the answer. There is no other answer. There is none. I don't care. You know, it's this thing, that old saying I've said before, the seeker of God never finds God, because he's always seeking that which is already here. And that's the problem in also health. You know, we keep seeking what's already here. We don't settle down and realize it's more simplistic. It's the mind that keeps one seeking in all directions. So you got to put that mind over there in the corner and only use it when you want it. Oh, thanks, all love. Thanks all for all you guys. I really like that. What about pain? All right, so Kelly's asked a question about what about pain in the frontal lobe of the brain, the jaw, and severe anxiety, panic disorder, and depression as well. Well, let's answer that. What about pain? Where does pain come from? Comes from acids, doesn't it? I mean, if you want, let's reduce this to chemistry. There's only two sides of chemistry. Does both sides cause pain? Well, I mean, if you got way up in an alkali, but that's not really discussable here. The reality is pain comes from acidosis. What system, Kelly, deals with acids? The reality is pain comes from acidosis. What system, Kelly, deals with acids? It's the lymph system. And the lymph system is obviously where you're having all the problems. What's your connecting link between the lymph system and anxieties? Your adrenal glands. And of course your adrenal glands are down. You've been on a lot of drugs. You've been on a lot of things, sweetheart, that has suppressed your nervous system even more, that has slammed your adrenal glands even more. And there's a point where you just can't keep slamming them. You got to make them healthy. The allopathic community is by far in a sad state of affairs. These guys have got to pull themselves out of this ridiculousness, or leave the planet and practice somewhere else, because it's almost destroyed the planet. I mean, this is unreal. So pain, yeah, your lymph system's backed up. Remember the cerebellum and equilibrium and dizzy, blood pressure sinking down to nothing? Absolutely. That's all your lymph system. Everyone's chewing on you. And you have done nothing to move it. You've done nothing in what I've read that you gave me. No naturopath, nobody has ever helped you. These same naturopaths and medical doctors are doing this to everybody, not just you, Kelly. Everybody is being affected by these guys that don't have a clue about health, that have no clue about the lymph system, and don't know how to move it because they were never trained in detoxification. The naturopathic schools never had the Arets and the natural hygienic people who did groundbreaking work. Shame we need to say that in health, since the other animals just seem to eat what they're designed to eat and go along with life. We have to have groundbreaking information and study. The real studies have already been done on tens of millions of people through the years of natural hygiene, on the Arnold Arets of the world. There's been thousands of natural doctors out there that have learned the proper ways. Now it seems like we're getting more ignorant in naturopathy, not smarter. So you all are becoming true naturopathists. These naturopaths got to get with it, or they're making us have a bad name here. Good example is you've been to all of them, and now you're afraid of everybody. Don't blame you. Can't say as I blame you. But you've got to also realize there is a remedy out there, and each month, each year you go along, you're going to be introduced to a little more of truth. For some reason, you couldn't have been able to handle it. And there's only a few of us that really get deeper into these areas, and you just haven't been opening those doors. Can't blame anybody. It's just you weren't ready. You have to look at it that way. There's a plan. God's working with you, honey, and you just have to, there's some reason. Maybe it's an attitude adjustment that's going on with you. Who knows what it is? Because those people that don't do the programs that fail have attitude problems. They have emotional problems, mental problems, and they can't grasp on things, and so they suffer until they're willing to. And that's why I guess we're all rooting for you, honey, to let go of this preconceived crap of diseases and everything you thought you knew and start totally fresh. Clean the blackboard off. Clean all what you think off. Make a total screen and review these videos, and you'll see that it all smacks of truth, because you can't disprove anything I'm saying. I invite you to. So the pain in the jaw, that's your lymph system. Get your lymph moving. The anxiety, panic disorder, it's not a disorder. You have a weak adrenals. Get rid of disorders. Get rid of this crap that that these medical people lump people in. They lump you in it like you're stuck in some kind of disease or disorder trap. This consciousness has enslaved man. And you got to pull yourself, as everyone else, out of this enslavement of diseases and allopathic thinking. This is the negative forces at their best. And it's enslaved man like no other. So you have to pull out of that. Depression, parathyroid. Why wouldn't you? Your lymph is very backed up into your head area here. So everything you're having problems with, well, get it up. Maybe the pituitary also. I would be suggesting of that. You got pain in the frontal lobe. I'm going to suggest you have pituitary slamming everybody else. But what makes the body go down? What makes you continue to have symptoms? And it's always going to be the acid side of chemistry and the lymph system backing up more and more. Your connecting link is your kidney and your adrenals. Great comment, JG. I don't know. You can ask Chris or someone about if someone wants to help Kelly with this or something. I find this interesting. You're already set up with PayPal and everything like that. Interesting. Have you ever had your foot in the mouth? Yeah. You'll be okay, Kelly. You're gonna. I mean, when you come on a site like this and you put it out there, people are going to come on you, and I'm going to be rough on people too. If I feel like your attitude is in your way and you want me to help you, I'm going to break that attitude, or I can't help you. Yeah, I know you're hurting. And I know a lot of you are hurting. My heart hurts for every one of you. And but I'm here to help you all, and I'm here to help you, and I'll help you if you let me. But if not, I can't do anything about it. Centron, good man. I haven't heard from you for a while. See? You know what I love about what I do is that people grow and grow and go on and just start becoming healers themselves, and they keep growing and go on, and I just love that. I have people come in here from years past. Look at Dan, the man. You know, they learn and they go out and conquer, and I love that. Someday we'll all get together on some remote, beautiful world in jeweled cities, and we'll have a big laugh and have some fun. Asking me this, Brandon X asked me about my fruitarian experience. You know, I was fortunate, and I have to tell you that navel oranges come in season about November, and they're generally gone by January or mid-January. This particular year that I did this, there was navel oranges budding season to season. Now that is unheard of. The gentleman, the very spiritual older guy that created this organic grove, communicated with UFOs. This guy had a lot going. Yes, he was an old Southern Baptist man. He was telling about the experiment the Army made in the desert with the jeeps and the men without water, and he was talking about how many people died with that, and he said, I did too. It was interesting. This guy was really strange. It was strange. It's like surreal, you know. It's like, I wonder if this really exists, you know. But I had oranges year-round, or navel oranges, and his navel oranges were this big, at least. And I can tell you that I bought them by the bushel basket, and I could have anywhere from 10 to 15 of these at a setting, and I could have at least 3, 4, 5 settings a day if I wanted it. I did consume a lot of oranges, and I peeled them all. I didn't juice them at all. I lived in my Volkswagen van. I did not have a power juicer, so I cut them all. I used to whack myself all the time, never feel it, never bleed, never know it any time. It was just, it was an unreal level. But at night, I was traveling a lot, but when you start this, learning how to get out of the body, you try to remain awake while your body, so to speak, falls asleep. And let me tell you, you can have some sleepless nights doing that. And then after a while, being conscious more than less, your body can take a toll. You can cramp up. The energy can really get to the human body because your cells aren't evolved either. So there's, believe it or not, when you're in a body, this body has to evolve with you energetically, and you guys are seeing that when you eat wrong, that energy just rips you, and you just really, it kind of gets you, and it can confuse your consciousness if you're not careful. This is the problem of getting way too sensitive with the human body, because it can really have a big impact on you. It was so impactful with me, I had to step down a little bit, especially in giving talks, because if I sit and give you guys a spiritual talk, I've got to ground myself, because it's just, you just get way out there, and then the body has to handle that. My body can cramp up from the power coming through it, and it's like, I don't know, you know, it's just like if I ground that body, then it's okay. My body seems to be able to tolerate that, but it's hard to describe to people about that. The energy levels are insane because you don't feel your body anymore. You don't have a physical body anymore. You're working way up here. Even your, you know, your romantic life disappears because you're really up here. You're much more etheric. You're like that cocoon where it's just pure merging with energetics. It's a powerful experience, and you go around, but you're up here. And this is where I try to always be in consciousness. I don't know I have a body unless I'm eating wrong and I got an ache or a pain from it. I go, oh, you know, that body. You know, carrying this body around is a pain in the butt. You know, when it's not as healthy as it could be. When it's as healthy as it could be, you don't even know it's there. Do I like oregano oil? Yep. And be careful with the oil. Someone asked me about the oil swishing in the mouth and stuff like that. Be careful with the oils. Oils are the most toxic part of the plants. Remember, the FDA doesn't like the internal consumption of essential oils in this country. I would say there's nothing wrong with a drop or two, but a good oregano oil. I've got a good Amish heater that's got some incredible oregano oil, but I mean, instantly, woof. You know, it's kind of like echinacea. Good echinacea, chew on that and see how you feel. You know, it's like a good horseradish root. But that's real strong. So you don't need much, you know, to deal with things. And so I don't overuse oregano oil for that reason. So hang in there, everybody. I'm working. This guy wanted to know how to heal his tooth. He had knocked it loose when he was 12 and it healed. Then about 20 years later, a couple years ago, I tried some tooth powder that was too abrasive. Wow, my gums receded and I experienced some pain followed. Oh, must have been an acid tooth. Geez, that's scary, isn't it? Followed by a loss of feeling. Wow, loss of tooth strength and gray color of the tooth. Well, God, man, it sounded like you poisoned your cells right there. Holy crap. Well, I can tell you this, I'd probably do some mouthwashes with bicarbonate a little bit, sodium bicarbonate, aluminum free. You could use the Heal All Tea, better cut it down a bit because it's real strong. And the problem with that, it really pulls toxins out of the gums and stuff, but it can also, you know, really clean you. You know, those things that are weak. This is where you have to be careful when you have weak cells because your body has a desire to terminate them and rebuild them. And so this is why you see a little breakdown of the body during detoxification. It's a house cleaning. And generally the house cleaning gets rid of things that the body doesn't really care for anymore. It doesn't support itself. It'll rebuild, but that process isn't understood well. We haven't come to the point, the human body is so weak. I often thought, you know, there are people that have grown a second or what you would consider from baby a third set of teeth. And I believe that's possible. But I believe in the human state, we've gotten so weak that it isn't possible in too many people. There's only been a recorded 2 or 3. So interesting. I don't know. But I would do that. Wash my mouth out with some Heal All Tea. Use 1 teaspoon for about 3 to 4 cups. Hold it in your mouth. Let that draw and heal and pull. At the same time, baking soda or something like that could be helpful to that. A lot of things. Even the oil of oregano, 1 drop in the Heal All Tea or something, you know. You can use those things to help that way. Get your lymph moving though, and think about that parathyroid gland. You might do that Calma Plus for a bottle of it or something. Perk up your parathyroid, get some CalMeg in there, and pop that up a little bit. Someone commented of Gotu Kola in the UK being banned, or Kava Kava. Probably Kava Kava. Gotu Kola, man, what a great herb. I don't know. I would think it'd be more Kava Kava, but ban this, ban that. I think we ought to ban the governments, you know. Thank you, Yoga Shot. I do get carried away sometimes, and sometimes I get too serious, and I apologize with that. I'm a no-nonsense kind of guy. I'm so busy that I don't have time to play around sometimes here, and sometimes I get too serious, and I apologize with that. I'm a no-nonsense kind of guy. I'm so busy that I don't have time to play around sometimes here, and especially with people and attitudes and stuff like that. And I know it's probably a lack of more compassion that I should have, but through all these years, you know, after a while, you get beat up by people who who say all kinds of things that are just, they're wackos. I mean, they're people that just are out of touch. And these poor souls need to go out, and life's just going to keep beating them up until they ground themselves. And we try to give as much love as we can to everybody. We're here to help you. We're never here to hurt anybody. We've never hurt anybody as far as I know. Some people might think that in detox and stuff, but it's like, well, excuse me. Some people don't get the results as fast as they would like. Well, hello. Some people, it's very bad. How bad do you want me to tell you you are? I try to sometimes sugarcoat things, but nowadays I'm pretty much telling you like it is. If you got years ahead of you, I'm going to tell you. For years ago, I never would say that. Dr. Jensen used to say, when you tell them about their iris, I only tell them 4 things that's wrong with them. I said, well, Doc, I kind of, I've made people cry before. I said, I understand where you're coming from. I said, but I'm generally truthful, right with everything. When I'm doing an iris report, I'm going to go head to toe, and I'm going to pretty much tell you what I see. What you have to realize is separate you from your body. When I first saw my eyes in iridology, I just went, oh, damn. Because they weren't the strong constitutions that of all these people that I see out there. But yoga shot, I like that. Yeah, if acid is the problem, why do you think of drinking some baking soda? Well, Kathy's got the and you may find it online, but we have a certain recipe for that. We generally recommend it to people that have high acidosis, like in cancer cases and things. It isn't the remedy that you read about where suddenly your cancer's gone when you take it, but it certainly is helpful. But in reality, moving lymph is the key, because in all cancer cases, what's the gig? The gig is that your lymph system ain't moving well. Your cells have been damaged by acids that haven't been able to get out and be carried away. So intracellular acidosis is really the issue here, even though we just kind of keep it simple and say acidosis. But it can be helpful, the acceleration of bringing in alkaline chemistry, but remember the kidneys and the adrenals, those are the babies that have to be fixed to get this lymph filtering properly. And this is all about lymph filtering. You can't rebound, you can't lymph drainage, you can't do these things without good filtration of the kidneys and adrenals and be successful. You got to really work on the kidneys and adrenals. And you guys are seeing this more and more and more as you go through this. Oh, good comment on the complete proteins, Monica. Yeah, good comment. Absolutely. No animal eats. I mean, you might see the lions eat complete protein in the sense of dead tissue, but they're the stinkiest. They're the least endurance. Anything that eats high protein diets are the sickest on the planet. You can see that everywhere you turn. The healthiest, strongest animals don't eat proteins. They eat simple amino acid structures. That's all your body can use anyway. That's pretty simple. I think this idea of protein, people have to get beyond that sort of thinking. I don't know what adya-clarity is. I don't know what that is. You've seen it on the YouTube. But if it's a sulfur compound, holy crap. I think I showed you some eyes yesterday of sulfur, but I got lots of them with sulfur in them. I do never recommend you take sulfur compounds ever for anything. And if they're using that in this, no way. This fascination with sulfur is ridiculous. It has 2 major problems. Besides creating a sort of acid reflux syndrome through the bowel, we could loosely call IBS, but it is a major lymph suppressor. Sulfur compounds are cumulative. They don't leave the body well, and they cause a lot of fungus problems, a lot of fungal problems. Miss Malone, yes, ma'am, I'd be very careful. You have green eyes, it was blue, yeah. So you have green eyes that once were blue. See, your lymph system is getting worse and worse and worse. And they'll go back to, okay. They'll go back to that blue when you clean your lymph system out, and you'll see your blue color again. Well, I'm being pulled away, so what I'll do is cut off now, and then I'll come back and finish these up. I want to get into limes, but I've already addressed limes and a lot of these things. I know there's so many videos, it probably is going to confusing to go back and back and back. But I'll get to these, and you all have a beautiful, beautiful day, as I say. And I love you all. Thank you so much. And you guys are really coming a long way. I just love it. You guys are kicking butt going forth, and appreciate being subscribers to this channel. And just remember, all this is an educational channel. I'm trying to educate, and that's what it is. So thank you very much. Bye-bye. Love you all.